All right, so we're going to talk about the fundamental trigonometric identities that you need to know to work with most of the problems that you're going to see in pre-cal and calculus. Now, there are tons and tons of identities. It's actually an infinite number that we could make, but these are just the fundamental ones. So we start off and we talk about, the sine of theta. Well, the only thing that we have that's really important for us to know about the sine of theta is that it's actually the reciprocal of the cosecant of theta, meaning that if we divided cosecant theta, or excuse me, if we divided 1 by cosecant of theta, we would get sine. Conversely, if the cosecant of theta, we've already known to be 1 over the sine of theta. So remember, anything that is equal to each other always is an identity. Excuse me. Now our next one, the cosine of theta, that is the reciprocal function of secant. So cosine of theta is going to be equal 1 over secant of theta. Then we have secant of theta is going to be the same as 1 over the cosine of theta. We also have tangent of theta. Tangent of theta has 2 different things that it equals. It's not just sine of theta over cosine of theta. It's also the reciprocal of 1 over the cotangent of theta. So all of these things are linked together. They're all identities. And then, just like the other ones, the cotangent of theta, it is the inverse of tangent. We've learned it thus far to be cosine of theta over sine of theta, but it's also 1 over the tangent of theta. So these are the 6 big fundamental trig identities that are just direct replacements. But we also have the 3 the 3 Pythagorean identities that we've gone over in class so far. So the 3 Pythagorean identities are as follows. So the first one is the sine squared of theta plus the cosine squared of theta always equals 1. So this is always true no matter what. So we can replace sine squared plus cosine squared with 1 anytime we want. Or if we ever wanted to replace the number 1, we could replace it with sine squared plus cosine squared. We could also replace any combination of this so long as we do correct math. You'll see that in some of the example problems. Our second Pythagorean identity is based off our first, and that would be if we divided everything in here by sine squared. What you would get is 1 plus cotangent squared of theta equals cosecant squared theta. So just like the first Pythagorean identity, we can replace any of this at any time. We could replace cosecant squared of theta with 1 plus cotangent squared of theta, or 1 plus cotangent squared of theta with cosecant squared of theta. Or again, any combination that works if we do the correct math. Now our last identity is going to be tangent squared of theta plus 1 equals secant squared. And this one comes from dividing our top function all by cosine squared. So we can get each of these bottom 2 identities from the top identity if we divide. So this is divide by sine squared, and this is dividing by cosine squared. And these are the fundamental identities that you're going to have to know to work with most of the trig problems that we're going to be dealing with for the next few weeks.